Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning. We are live, baby. Wednesday, September 25th. Crossing our fingers for some good movement. You have new home sales today, so slight bit of news that might give us a little bit of a boost this morning. We shall see. Morning, Sleeping Tiger. Hey, Tick Trader. Matt, capital P, good to see you guys. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Alberta. Wow, so far this is the definition of an inside day. Whew, I was worried there, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you for that reassurance. Good to see ya. Hey, Squid. Hey, Toad. Morning, Tom. Jesse, you got my back. I appreciate that. I will reload. For some reason, that's not ingrained in my routine just yet. We'll get there. Well, as you guys are coming in, I would appreciate if you click the like button. You have to like turn on the YouTube algorithm in the morning. That's how you do it. So that's the on switch. If it is indeed true that you do like the stream, I don't want you to be disingenuous, so. I am going to look on the charts here. It feels like there's several gaps that have not been filled yet. I want to make sure got all that on the chart. I think we still have a couple of gaps to the downside. Morning, Jonathan. Hey, Bill. Yeah, so it looks like we have a gap from the 18th, so I am going to check that out. Reloaded my ES chart too. Ah, yes, this day. Cool. So there's that unfilled gap. Just in case we get something going to the downside, that would be the target. But right now we have a little uptrend. Looks like it's probably already played out. The market's about to open here in about 10 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. Market's open. Come on, trade. Buy, sell, guys. Let's go. Click some buttons. How many of us used to be like that right when the opening bell hit? You were just all over stuff, smashing buttons, buying this, buying that. Just starting the day off with stress. Hey, Harmonious. The half-second opening range break, I like it. That's good. Alright, ES to a new high. There is a high up here. This is the all-time high, so see if the market's going to get over that. Testing that all-time high. Where did my S&P 500 text go? I have to make a new one. That's a good point, Toad. Get the stress out of the way, you know? Smash some buttons. You're gonna be stressed at some point. Might as well do it right on the open, right? Need to see how the market reacts here at the opening high, or sorry, the all-time high. If it does keep going up, we might have some sort of channel like this. But we're gonna have to see some confirmation of that. Same kind of deal on the NAS. And still interesting to note that the all-time high on the Nasdaq is still way above, so just been a lot weaker than the S&P over the last couple months. But yeah, if we clear this high, guys, there is a lot of room to run. Pretty much no resistance for a long time. And actually, there's an unfilled gap to the upside. I don't know if my chart can go back that far. Let's see. It's from July. July 16th. See where this falls. Still quite a ways above us there. Long ways above us, actually. But hey, that would really be the next area. So like if we get above this high, there is pretty much no resistance till we get up here. So this thing could really run. Oh, sorry, you're not looking at the same thing. If we get above this high here, there's pretty much no resistance till this gap fill. So the market could definitely go on a run. And I'd be interested to see a long on the Nasdaq above that high. So get up here, 2 legs back. That would be the trade I'd be looking for. Oh, Alberta, come on, man. You've been with me for a while and you don't know what chart I'm trading? Right up here, brother. Tick chart. It's not a oops, sorry. It's a tick chart. It's not a time-based chart. High Lord asking, would I inherently size up for a big move like that? I mean, I wouldn't be trading likely that whole move, right? That wouldn't be my target. And if it was, I wouldn't need to size up. If I was going for that big of a target, you only trade one contract, that's $12,000. So no, I wouldn't size up for a big move. But if we do get above this high, I think probabilities are really good at that point, and so yeah, I'd be trading full size. Over on the S&P, the market is just not wanting to go to an all-time high yet. Looks like we might be rejecting off this level. If we keep going up, again, I'll be looking for this kind of secondary channel, something like that. But we're gonna have to get up to that new high for me to be interested in taking a trade here. Maybe it's just a wide channel like this. Either way, I'm not really interested in it yet. So close to breaking into that new high, but market does not look eager to do it right now. Ian, that's a great question. Yeah, just go through my YouTube playlist. The most recent video I did breaks down my strategy, and really, like, the best way that you can learn the strategy itself is not difficult. Like, this is it. It's, hey, we got a trend, we're looking for 2 legs back, we're looking for the EMA to hold, and then we're looking to join the trend. So not a hard strategy really to grab a hold of. The nuance, of course, comes with each different market situation, right? Because every day is different, and those are things you can't just, like, it's not like, oh yeah, just check this box and you're good to go. You know, we're reading price action. That means we are interpreting every single day a little bit differently. So with that, you know, the best way I would say to learn my strategy is to watch me trade live. So tune into the live streams. For the members in the Discord, I give a daily lesson every single day, breaking down that particular day, how to interpret the price action, where the setups were, and then as well, just like following along in the live trading rooms and the Discord throughout the day. That to me is the best way to learn the strategy. It's, you know, you can learn the theory in a book or a course or whatever, but putting it into practice in different market situations, that's really the meat, that's really the heart of the strategy. So that is where I would encourage you to focus your time. All right, well, it looks like we are not going to get to that all-time high just yet. And that is why we wait for confirmation. We don't anticipate. It looked really good to get to that new high, but the market just did not want to do it. So now we're headed down. We might be able to get a short. Morning, Martin. It's about vitamin 30 right now, isn't it, guys? Nasdaq pushing back above the EMA. To consider a short, I would need to really see some solid rejection here. Don't think that's going to happen. Not quite getting rejection at the EMA like I would want. Bias is a little bit unclear at this point because, you know, is quite bullish. We're right at the all-time high, but so far getting rejected. Alright, there's a little bit of a move down below the EMA. And yes, thank you, Sax guy. Gotta remember, we have some news at 10 a.m. All right, we're having a little bit of a divergence here. S&P looks a little bit weak, pushing below the EMA, yet the Nasdaq is nearly making a new high. So when you see those divergences, it's best to just chill for a minute. And look at that move down on the ES. Nasdaq still holding that high. That's the way to do it, Alberta. You can't trade on feelings. Absolutely right. And this was a decent setup on the S&P. I would have taken it if the Nasdaq would have been participating, but you had move back to the EMA, move down, and then one more bar right here. It's a nice bearish bar right at the EMA, closing below. Looks good. Worked for a scalp already. I just didn't like how the NQ was going up, so that's a personal rule of mine. I don't like to trade when there's a divergence like that. But if you were just watching the S&P chart, that was a pretty solid setup to take. Randomizer, good morning. Six minutes now till the news. Would advise you to probably not be trading for that. Hey, what's up, Cricket? That is true. That is true. You could either not trade the news or put grandma's mortgage on the news. One way or another. I think either of those are solid options. Look at the Nasdaq go. Above yesterday's high. Like I said earlier, if this thing can confirm above this area, we have nothing but blue skies ahead. So watching this very closely, want to see it get above yesterday's high and stay there. And agreed, Tom, if ES pushes through that all-time high, there's definitely some stops right up here. People saw that rejection off the all-time high. They're thinking, oh, resistance, and then this lower high. Oh yeah, this thing is cooked. So there's some stops up here for sure. We just have home sales news here in a couple minutes. I don't think it's going to be major. But, you know, enough to get a volatile bar or two. All right, about 30 seconds more here. Hey, Chintaka. Good morning. Alright, here is the news. New home sales are up. Forecasted at 699, came in at 716. Hi Lord asking, am I targeting a previous all-time high for NQ? There is no previous all-time high because NQ is not at an all-time high right now. All-time high is way the heck up. I don't even know where it is. It's way up there. So no, I'm not targeting the all-time high. I'm waiting to see if there's a setup forming. What I would need on the Nasdaq is for us to hold above this high from yesterday, and for us to get a nice two-leg correction. So need to see a pullback, want to see this hold once, want to see this hold twice, and then my target would initially just be a new high of day, and then who knows, might trail the stop loosely and see how far it can run. On the S&P side, I'm not really interested in the setup until we can get to that all-time high and hold it. Because we don't really have a wider uptrend on the S&P yet, so we're just having to trade off the current short-term trend. It still has not cleared this high, so we're gonna need to see this clear this high, get above it, and then same thing, need to see it test twice and hold. That would be the only way I'd get long on the S&P. I think Nasdaq is looking a little bit better for a setup today. So far, that can always change. Yeah, so far I agree with you, Jesse. If you get a good entry, this thing might just run on you all day. Nasdaq still holding good on that new high, so that is good stuff so far. Chintaka, how many times do I get this pattern a week? I mean, it happens every day in one way or another. I average about 5 trades a week or so. Still waiting on that pullback here. Yeah, once we get that pullback, we'll be set to go. Just need to see that EMA hold. The S&P is so close to getting above that area. It looks like so far we're kind of getting rejected off that level again. Yes, for sure, Alberta. Leaning towards a bullish bias. However, the S&P is not looking great. Still not able to get above that high. So that's the only drag on the bullish bias. Nasdaq looks great. Like that, there's very clear bullish bias there. So that's where I'm leaning on trading. You know, and you got it moved above yesterday's high. We'll see if it holds it. That'll be a test for sure. If this can hold this, definitely bullish. But the S&P, I mean, just can't get above this all-time high. So we shall see. I'm cautiously bullish on the Nasdaq. Not really sure on the S&P yet. It's a good reminder, Jesse. Yeah, there is no reason to chase this market right now. Let it come to you. Especially on, yeah, I mean, don't trade the S&P right now, I would say. I don't think there's really a high probability setup. The Nasdaq, let it come to you. See if it's gonna hold. See if this bullish move is legit. Juan, remember that you have a whole checklist. It's not just a green bar above the EMA. That's not going to do anything for you. You have to have a current uptrend. And look at this. You're coming right off resistance. Don't ever try to trade long if you've just been rejected off of a resistance level. So no, there's no setup here. Plus, this is only the first attempt, right? Even if you were trading this uptrend, this is the first pullback and the first move up. You want to wait for that second move. Nasdaq just unstoppable up here. Jaka, there's no one that can help you but yourself, man. If you're taking 200 trades a day, you have a gambling problem. That's what that is. And just like any proper program, the first step is admitting it. There's no probably about it, my friend. If you're taking 200 trades a day, trading every 5-minute candle, it's just gambling. It's just a little bit fancier because it's the stock market instead of a slot machine. Well, you don't have an edge, that's the problem, Jaka. That is the only thing that separates pure gambling from trading, is that you don't have an edge. You don't, there is nothing, you're rolling a dice. If you don't have a system that you know statistically wins more than it loses, that you're going to make more from your winners than you are going to lose from your loser. If you don't have a system that has been back tested, backed by data, you're gambling. That's just all it is. It goes for any of us. If you ever just jump in and trade like, oh man, I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up is not a system that has a statistical edge over the long term. So, I mean, hey, look, we've all been there, right? Every single one of us has been there. I've done that countless of times. Like, man, I'm just going to jump in. But we just have to know that we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. Yeah, you're paying like $1,000 just in commissions if you're taking that many trades a day. That's exactly right, Jaka. I do not care if I don't trade. I do not care. I have 0% FOMO. The market could go. The market could launch up. It could launch down. I don't care. If it's not my setup, it doesn't bother me. All right, finally getting a little bit of a pullback on the Nasdaq. Thank you, MMXXM. We'll just call you M. Thank you. Yeah, not bashing any other traders myself, but I know that what is most helpful for people is seeing things in real time, having real-time feedback with, you know, the setup is not great because of this, that, and the other thing, or yeah, you definitely want to take this setup here. I know that's kind of thing would be the most helpful for me if I was learning a strategy. So yep, if y'all want more of that, please join the Discord community. I'm in the live trading rooms during the day calling out the same stuff, like, hey, looking for a second entry long here, here's what I need to see, here's what needs to happen. Yeah, and you can compare that to your own thought process, like, oh shoot, I was thinking of going short here. Still basically in a range on the S&P, starting to form like that. So it's making it really hard to trust along on the Nasdaq. So I'm gonna need to see a legitimate 2 legs here. This is still, to me, visually looking like 1 leg, even though we have had a move up. So I'm gonna need to see legitimately 1 leg, 2 legs, something like that. Probably what's going to happen is this is going to drop down a lot more than we'd anticipate because of the weakness on the S&P. And in that case, as long as this holds, once we get a push above the EMA, I would take a higher low. So there you go, guys. For those of you who are like, what's your strategy? I'm showing you guys in real time. This is exactly what I would need to see in order to take a trade. I want to see 2 legs of correction. I want to see this previous high hold, and I want to see a push above the EMA and a higher low. That's it. I'm doubtful that it'll happen because of the weakness on the S&P 500. It has not gotten to a new high. So because of that, if the market goes down, I will be looking to take a short on the S&P 500. What I would need to see from that is a solid channel down like so. I want to see this confirm, you know, look really good. It's confirming the channel. And then would need to see at some point, you know, say we're down here, need to see 2 legs of correction, EMA holding, bearish bar, and then we could take a short. So I've just laid it out for you. That is the setup in real time, considering real market conditions, etc. Looking for a short on the S&P or a long on the Nasdaq, given those requirements, or given those parameters. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but yeah, given that action. Thank you, Pylord. I'm crossing my fingers. 100-point move would be awesome. That would be awesome. Morning, Ryan. Okay, so here's the Nasdaq holding the EMA. This is looking pretty good so far. This is the first attempt higher. I want to see some candles close above the EMA and then get another attempt here with the higher low. That would be the setup. What's up? Your screen name is very apropos, my friend. Aaron, yes. This, I don't know what everyone's obsession over time frame is, but in the last video I posted, I must have had 50 different comments like, what time frame? What time frame? Guys, price action works on any time frame. Any time frame does not matter. It is not dependent on a specific time frame. So obviously the smaller you go, if you're trading like a 2-second chart, first of all, it's going to be really fast and hard to keep up with, but second, you know, there's going to be a little bit more, it's going to be a little too granular probably, if you're looking to catch bigger moves. So it'd be more like micro points here and there, you know, and if you're trading a weekly chart, it's going to take a long time for setups to both appear and then actually play out. So, you know, obviously that's the difference in different time frames, but the actual setup, the actual price action is the same. The half-second opening range breakout works on any time frame. Just need a stopwatch. Yes, sir. Yeah, so here's this is exactly what I said earlier. We would likely get a bigger correction because of the weakness on the S&P. So here we go. Now I'm going to need to see this high hold once, twice, and that second test needs to be above the EMA. Yeah, totally. What's up? I definitely review my charts every day, seeing what I could have done better. I also do a lot of back testing to get practice, like load up a historical chart, some random chart, and then just practice, like scroll through bar by bar and go, oh, I'm gonna take this trade and see how it plays out. So yeah, definitely always trying to improve. Nice, Aaron, glad to have you aboard, man. Definitely consider joining the Discord. That would be the best way to get the most support. I release daily lessons there, breaking down the strategy in regards to each day, so you can really start ingraining it in your mind. Plus, there's just a fantastic community of traders. Everyone's super cool and would be willing to help you out, explain some things, answer questions, and trade alongside of you. So consider that for sure. Thank you, Ryan B. Yeah, I appreciate that. There's a lot of little nuggets and little nuances that happen every day that's hard to put into one. Really impossible. You can't really put it into like a lesson, like a course or something, because every day is a little bit different. So yeah, those daily lessons are really helpful to be able to see certain circumstances in certain situations, and some of the nuances that go with that. So yeah, that will skyrocket your learning process if you're wanting to learn the strategy. What's up? Why is asking, why do people have multiple accounts? That's pretty easy to explain, actually. Let's see here. So imagine you have an account that has like 2,000 in drawdown. Actually, I'm going to type this because it'll be easier. So imagine you have an account that has 2,000 in drawdown. So that's the max amount you can lose. Well, if you wanted to, let's say you want to make $1,000 a day, that means you have to risk half of your entire account balance. You have to make a 50% gain every single day. Like, that's insane. Those are insane numbers and really not good risk management. Whereas if you had, let's say 5 accounts, hold on. If you have 5 accounts, all of a sudden, you would only need to risk a fraction of that to make your goal. You'd only need to risk 200 a day per account, right? So then now you have that same profit goal with much less risk per account. Anyway, thank you, Jesse. I'll hop over to the NAS. Starting to confirm. Want to see some action above the EMA. I'm still a little bit concerned with the S&P, that it's looking weak, but starting to bounce on support, so that could be helpful. Yes, Aaron, for sure make trades inside the channels. That happens mostly on larger channels. So, like the Nasdaq could be a great example, actually. Let's say this would have pulled back and bounced exactly off the EMA and then bounced exactly off the EMA again. Would totally take that trade, even in the channel. It doesn't need to break out of the channel for a good setup to form. Most often it does. I would say most of the best setups, that ends up being the case, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, once we close above the EMA, then I'll be looking for one more bar, one higher low. So this is what we want to see. Came down, we tested this area, great. Now let's see if we can get above the EMA and then get a higher low. So far, we'll see. This bars might be struggling a little bit. Yes, what's up? That's exactly right. So you use a trade copier. You could trade all the accounts at the same time with one click. You're spreading out the risk over all the accounts, so you don't have to risk a lot. And then you can maximize your gains that way. So the trade copier I use, it is linked in the description. And I have there's a code you can get a discount off if you want. And all my affiliate links, as always, guys, that just all goes back into the channel, so goes to improving the channel. All right, come on, baby. Close above the EMA. Nice, Alberta. Glad you're seeing the value of patience. I love that when you're like, oh man, glad I didn't jump into stuff. Here's what would have happened. Okay, so we get a higher low here, and I'm going to be taking a trade if it looks good. Ryan asking, does Replicanto allow you to trade a top step rhythmic account with a fast track futures rhythmic? Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do fast track yet until they are on NinjaTrader. Because you can only have one purely rhythmic connection at one time. Through NinjaTrader, if it's a Tradeovate connection, you can have, you know, infinite. But yeah, on Rhythmic, you would need to just do one at a time, unfortunately. But it'll get there. The fast track is going to be adding some different platforms. Still looking for that higher low. We are finally above the EMA. So we need to hold it on a nice green bar, higher low. So far it's looking a little shaky. Plus the S&P is not getting above the EMA. Yeah, Ryan, they are the same company, but different connections. So like a rhythmic connection on NinjaTrader is different than a Tradeovate connection on NinjaTrader. Still not getting that higher low bar we need. What's up asking if I play video games? This is the only video game I play. The market. And it does feel like a video game. An incredibly boring one, to be honest, but very lucrative. But no, other than that, I don't really play video games. I don't have time. What's my high score? There you go, Mick. That's a good one. Still working to beat the game, you know? So I don't like this close below the EMA. That's not looking great for our setup. We wanted to see the EMA act as support. It's not really happening. So looks more like it's going to reject, and perhaps we will get a second leg down of this correction. That's the one. That's the one, Matt. Shoot, that's what we need for trading, guys. We just need the up, down, left, right, A, B, A. No one's giving me the cheat code yet. BJ asking, for me to explain what a good two-legged pullback to the key entry point looks like. I mean, I don't know how long you've been on the stream. That's pretty much what I've been talking about all day. But I think more important than the exact count, BJ, is just visually what it looks like. So I think you can get kind of lost in the exact count. I don't think that's as important as just a visual 2 legs. Like, let's see if I have any examples. Yeah, actually, this is a pretty decent example from yesterday. You basically had a double top right here, right? So you're resetting the count. Now you could look at all the little details here and go, oh, there's a first entry here and a second entry here, but like visually this just looks like one move down, one move up, one move down. Now obviously this signal bar isn't good. You don't want to see this close above the EMA, but that's just to give you an example of like, that's the most important thing, is visually that it looks like that. Visually it pulls back, visually it goes up, visually it pulls back again. I'm just scrolling to see if there's any more examples. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any examples picked out for you, so it's kind of hard to go back, but that's what I would say is you want it to visually look like 2 attempts to go in one direction. And most of the time it will be the exact count. So I'm seeing a lot of examples that are like, oh, that is the exact count. So it's kind of hard to find an example that's like, oh, that's not the exact count, but it visually looks like it, if that makes sense. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. See if you can start to find that on the charts. And if the trend is a short-term trend in a range, same thing. You just have to be careful. If you're in a range, you need to know that more likely than continuation, you're going to get a reversal. So if you're in a range, I'd be cautious really in taking with trend setups, right? Yeah, you bet, BJ. All right. This downtrend on the S&P looks like it is starting to be played out. And we are getting that second leg of correction on the Nasdaq that we were anticipating. We'll see again how yesterday's high holds. And if it holds, if this looks good, if this level stays, then we would look for a push above the EMA and a higher low. I think more likely is that it doesn't hold, but we will see. What's up asking, do I think millionaire traders have some type of exceptional edge, or it's experience observing the market? I think it's both. You have to have an edge. You have to have a statistical a setup that has a statistical probability of a positive expected value over time. You have to have an edge. But then once you do, then I do think it is more experience in understanding the context, because, you know, in some contexts you don't want to play your edge. You're like, you know, the market is not solid for that right now. It's in a range, whatever it is. So yes, it's both. MLH, there's nothing special about waiting for 2 legs. It's been a price action strategy for a long time. Al Brooks talks a lot about it even before him. Yeah, it's a very popularized idea, so it's not, I don't claim to have invented it or anything. It's nothing special. And really, that's kind of how it is with all strategies. Like, you can learn an edge, and that's great, but the real test, the real key is being able to then apply that in different market scenarios, in different contexts, understanding when it's really good to use, when it's not. That is the real edge, I would say. Yeah, is just the skill of being able to apply it. So that's the thing that takes some time. All right, well, anyway, folks, I'm gonna head over to the Discord for the rest of the day. If you are not part of the Discord team, for sure consider joining. It's like the standard membership, guys. It's like a buck a day. I mean, it's really not. I'm not asking much there. So, yeah, you get a lot of value for that. Daily lessons breaking down price action, explaining it in each context of each day, so that you can learn how to apply these strategies. A great community of traders, and also, like, I'm available to answer questions and yeah, trade alongside me. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Hope you have a wonderful trading day. Be safe. Don't gamble. All right, wait for the good setups, and that's the key to success. So take care, everybody. Peace out. See you tomorrow.